This is the 91st minute.
Man United, Ten Hag gets his number 9. Rasmus HOJLUND. HOJLUND? Is that how you say it?
HOJLUND. And you just leave the D off. Just leave the D.
Oh. HOJLUND.
HOJLUND.
D.
HOJLUND.
Yeah, so Carl, is this going to be a player to develop, or is this the number 9 and away we go?
It's such a beautiful thing, man. It is such a thing of beauty. This guy walks in like a Viking lord, into Old Trafford, just walking around with his J's on, holds up the thing. He's huge. This guy's huge, and he doesn't look huge from a distance, right? He looks proportionally small. And this is what makes him exciting, is because he looks proportionally small, but he's huge, right? He's 6'3". He's like Havertz on steroids, Sorry, I didn't mean to take it to Arsenal again. But, he's like HOJLUND, but, with muscle mass, like with fast twitch muscle mass. Anyways, it's exciting stuff, man. And the thing that's exciting about him is he's only 20, right? This player might develop a little more, and then at Atalanta or another club, and then we maybe have to pay 20-30 extra million pounds for him in the future. We're biting the bullet getting him now, low wage, right? He was on 600k a year at Atalanta, right? So he's only going to cost us about 80k a week now, right? Obviously massive upgrade for his pocket, but we talked a little bit about it last week. It's definitely a development in my mind. Our most recent friendly match, I think, is kind of indicative of how we're going to line up, with Garnacho on the left, Rashford through the middle, and Anthony Sancho on the right wing. Sancho coming off. Ten Hag has mentioned he wants him to play through the middle. So, after Rashford, I think Sancho would be the replacement, with Rashford, moving to the left, and maybe Garnacho getting a break, and then Sancho coming through the middle for a little control type of situation. So there won't be a lot of pressure on HOJLUND, and I think that's the key, right? That's the key. I think that Ten Hag is not going to just throw him to the wolves, be like, you must score, etc. I think the interesting thing about HOJLUND is the fact that he can play on the wings, and he is a direct threat behind the line, right? He's faster than Rashford. His top speed is faster than Rashford. And right now, Rashford is our only vertical threat right now. And with Onana coming into the team, he provides a massive vertical. We'll get to the rest of Onana. He provides a massive vertical threat, like his long balls, etc. So I think in those situations, even if he doesn't have the finishing product right off the bat, he'll give us that work rate. He's physically fit for a 20-year-old. And I think everything in my gut tells me Ten Hag will develop him properly. We won't throw him to the wolves. And funny enough, I should have mentioned it last week, because I had thought about it, when I was ruminating under a tree, as I normally do. It was that they are going to say this guy's injured. I swear to God. I swear to God, I thought that, we're going to announce that he's injured just so that we just let him chill, get used to the club, don't feel any pressure to play in the first game, any substitute appearances, TV cameras on him, first game of the season. They said he's out for up to 4 weeks, I believe. Fine by me. Let him get settled, get his apartment settled, whatever he's got to do. Don't put too much pressure on him. Let him slowly get comfortable. And then I think maybe, I think I'd mentioned, maybe depending on the Champions League group we get, maybe if we play the pot 4, pot 3 game, maybe he gets some minutes in there. Maybe I'm thinking that's projection for where he might start. I don't think he'll necessarily start a Premier League game right away or anything. But really excited about HOJLUND, if you can't tell. It's nice to get a number 9.
So I don't
what are your thoughts on HOJLUND? Sorry, I've been rambling. What are your thoughts on HOJLUnd?
It's fine. I don't want to take the wind out your sails, but I'm gonna tell you right now.
Go ahead. Try.
No, I'm just gonna tell you right now. He is gonna be judged by some fans, not me necessarily. They're gonna compare him with Nunes.
Oh yeah, that's a great comparison.
They're gonna compare him with Darwin, and Darwin took a lot of flack last season. despite having some okay numbers by the end of it. So just be ready for Liverpool fans in particular are going to really go in hard on any miss Højlund does. You know that, right?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that because this is something people are forgetting about Højlund, which is he is 20. Darwin Núñez, 24. At this age, Núñez had barely played a season. It was either for Peñarol in Uruguay, right? This is the age we're talking. He had 14 league goals or 14 goals in his career at the age of 20. Højlund has 22. Yeah. Liverpool got Darwin Núñez after his prolific spell at Benfica, right? So I like that you brought that up because it's similar money. We're paying him about half the wage, right? So you got to remember that the transfer fee is not everything. The wage is very, very important. You have to really remember that because we're not paying him the same money as Darwin Núñez. So I do think that the expectation is a little lower.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would agree, but I
a
don't
lot of
think
fans will.
Liverpool fans in particular will not play it like that. I'm sure you're aware of that. I don't know if we got any Liverpool fans in, but we'll hear from them, I'm sure. I think, look, right now it's a 50-50. There are many, many examples of players that have come to the Premier League and it hasn't worked out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if we look, so there's no guarantees. I think if Arsenal were signing him, I'd also be pretty pumped, I think, just based on what I saw last season. Doesn't mean, again, that he will turn into the best 9 in the league or anything, but maybe he will. I'm interested to see what happens with him and how he's utilized and all the rest of it. Yeah.
I will add one more thing. The excitement is not only that we got a 9. The excitement is that we're making signings before like the last week of the season, or last week of the transfer window. There's a little bit of that too, So it's a little nice to see this type of action happening because last season we're putting this transfer off till the last day of the, like maybe something like with what Kane is going to happen with Kane, maybe I don't know, like that type of signing. I think Spurs. Was it Spurs, Chelsea, both struggling with their with the number 9. Like there's some fuzziness around their number 9s. I'm glad that's not us, because it is beginning of the transfer window. If you ask me what signing do I want done, was number 9, right? Because we lost Weghorst, sad, times, but we had to replace him. We can't depend on Tony Martial. We just can't. So I'm glad we finally got it done. Now, whether Kane, not, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with Højlund because it shows that Ten Hag and the board are planning for the future, right? You got Garnacho, Højlund. They could maybe slowly build a partnership. It could be nice to see. Yeah, I don't know. But there are other signings. I don't know if you guys heard the double deal. McTominay plus Maguire for I think it was 60 million pounds for West Ham. A little package deal. They were looking at those two, so could be interesting to see. And Donny van de Beek is speaking with Real Sociedad as well to replace that David Silva hole from his retirement as well. And the players we're looking at is Sofian Amrabat from Fiorentina. Looks really nice. And I'm a number guy, right? I have OCD numbers. He's number 34. Donny van de Beek's number 34. It could be a nice little. Okay, I know that's a little like it sounds like I'm into horoscopes.
They obviously picked their numbers because of Granit.
Granit! I forgot about that.
Yeah, Amrabat could have been a nice. They were like the great Granit Xhaka wore 34, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but and also we're linked to a young center back Todibo. Right-sided center back Todibo, so could be nice. Could this type of business would be just unbelievable. The fact that we're able to get it done. Obviously, we're selling. Fred is linked to be gone. McTominay, Maguire. The clear out. Arteta had the same thing when he came in. He had to clear out a lot of players. So it's just it's a process, and we're trying to get value. And that's the difficult part because we've been so bad that these players just don't have the value. They just don't have the value.
Yeah, we got to talk about Onana.
Oh yes.
We have to talk about it because I think a lot of United fans are going to have a case of be careful what you wish for syndrome this season, because having an eccentric out there keeper, it's all fun and games now, but 6 months into the season, if he's cost you some big things, and I'm not saying it will, it will be, there will be a lot of talk within United about that, because I've seen Arsenal with an eccentric keeper, and again, he might do some fantastic things, but at the wrong time, it can cost you. Could be a sending off. He seems like the kind of keeper that could just snap on a knife's edge. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know that having someone that lives on the edge like that is good at the back of your team in defense. I just don't know. What do you think?
That's a great point. Yeah, I mean, he's a little wild. He's a little wild. But I'll go back to that goal. That's on Diogo Dalot, 100%. Now, this is an expectation. Why
did he scream at Harry Maguire?
That was in preseason. So Harry Maguire gave a hospital pass into the midfield, the zero zone.
Okay.
And then the player, I think it was Eriksson, he lost the ball, and then Harry Maguire pointed at Lindelof to make the tackle on the guy coming at him. He started running back, and then he pointed at Lindelof, and Onana didn't like that play by Maguire. That was the game before, but Onana ripped into him a little bit.
It's interesting to me because again, preseason, I wasn't that worried. You really picked out Ramsdale's error or potential errors, and I just do you feel the same way about Onana?
I do, and no, I said it's on Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot caused the turnover. Now, so what's going to happen now is...
Well, then there's the lob as well, right? We got to talk about the lob.
Yeah, the lob is fine, but it's the turnover. It's the turnover.
Yeah.
You're not the expectation at United, is that Diogo Dalot is not going to misplace a simple pass to his center back like that, and that's the expectation now with Onana, because Onana is ready to receive a back pass, a simple back pass. He's up there for a reason, to receive a back pass and spread the field, etc. But do I think? Am I ready for these growing pains? I actually am. I'm ready for these growing pains. There might be a couple more of these. Funny enough, the way Twitter works is, someone posts a clip of this Onana goal getting chipped, and then underneath it, there's a clip of Ederson being chipped after a Rodri giveaway or something. Then there's a clip of Ramsdale getting chipped in the Europa League after some giveaway. So but it is, there's a standard that Onana has that he's gonna demand from the build-up.
It's just those crazy moments, because what I see in him is that little bit of crazy which Jens Lehmann had, which Fabian Barthez had, which certain keepers have. All keepers are a little crazy, I think, but like certain keepers, just it might be a red card, it could be a fight with a teammate, it could be, who knows, right? But I just have a feeling he will cost you, and there will be times in the season where people will be like, "Man, De Gea wasn't so bad, was he?"
Fair enough. But when you see, I mean, obviously in the Champions League final, you saw what he brings, on the ball, and it's just like,
for sure,
that ultimately you always just look back, and no matter what he does, you think back, and that's why he's there. It's not necessarily his. Maybe he has I don't know his history of red cards or whatever, but it's what he provides on the ball, long balls, long passing. Like I said, HOJLUND and Rashford are going to get a lot of opportunities down the wings and stuff like that. So
Premier League intensity has to be factored in, because players go after keepers. On corners, there's going to be a lot of harassment. There's going to be a lot of pushing and jostling, and all that goes on in the Premier League. Right? Teams try it every week. So, it's going to be interesting to see how long his fuse is, because to me, he just doesn't seem like he's going to have a long one.
Yeah, we'll see. He's a little erratic. I think he's also trying to kind of, lay a claim to the spot right now too. He's trying to, he's trying to let the guys know. He wants them to know he's a leader. He's very vocal, like you said. He's very vocal, and The growing pains of the set pieces will be an issue. He played behind a back three in Italian football in Inter, so it's a little tweak for him as well, right? He had a comfortable back three, all of them really good on the ball, comfortable on the ball. Is he gonna? Obviously Dalot is not comfortable on the ball. As we saw, but. Which theoretically, when you compare Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, you expect Dalot to be better on the ball, but he's making those mistakes, and Ten Hag said that there's a couple positions that are not settled for the first game of the season, and I think right back is one of those positions. Hey there, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider subscribing to the 91st Minute here on YouTube. Also, feel free to use the links in the description to follow us on all social media platforms.